There we go. Second time's a charm.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode, everybody. My name's Emery Wolf. Joining me is
Nick Lamb.
And we are just two camera guys. And this is a podcast where we're going to talk about all things camera. Nick, we've been talking about it for a while. Give us the intro. What are we talking about today?
Moose Jaw Film Festival coming up March 28th. We've been basically taking this week where we will be interviewing a bunch of the nominees for various awards. Nice. It's been fun so far getting to meet all these different filmmakers. So look forward to it.
You have a big role in this too. You've been a part of the group who's sort of putting this on, making things happen. But I do want to make a little scroll all the way down to the very bottom here. And we're going to notice some sketchy looking realtor guy down there.
Hair's not slicked back yet. So that's gonna happen soon, I imagine. But
the day of, what's your role there as a sponsor, as a contributor to this thing?
Yeah, myself and Jeremy Ratzlaff and Tim Lanko have been putting in a ton of hours. They've been putting in more than me, if I'm being perfectly honest. So just as much as we can. It's our first year, so there's going to be I'm assuming some things that we're going to know more next year. But this year, we're basically scheduling it out as good as we can and doing what the jury members tell us to do for what shows, and look forward to a fun awards show that evening. I think that'll be the highlight, the awards night, after all the films have been played.
Are you like planning the events? You're going to be there. You'll be hitting play on the VCR.
That's the plan. If we can get all of those trailers cut in time, it'll be like, and the nominees are kind of award show style.
Oh, cool. Are you doing that? Like the award show style edit and things like that too?
Yeah. If you know, we're going to do our best. We haven't given ourselves very much time because of the Mae Wilson's availability, but yeah, we're going to do our best and it'll be a fun night. It'll be a very fun night. There's 4 different screening blocks. There's essentially short films, documentary films, a feature film, and then a more you'll be front row center for more of our adult themed one, where it'll be a little bit more explicit content in that block. So don't bring your kids to that one. I'm not going to go to that one myself. It's a little too much for me, but
cool. Speaking of one of those, we have a guest with us today. I'm going to add him in. Here's Nathan. He made a little, I'm going to call it a short called Hunting Trip. Nathan, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Do you want to tell everybody maybe a little bit about this little short video you made?
Yeah, so Hunting Trip is a short film. It's only 5 minutes long, so it won't take up too much of your time when you're sitting in the theater watching it. But it's exactly as the title says. It's about a father and son out on a hunting trip, and it's a chance where we get to see them bond, and the dad gets to impart some life lessons to his son and kind of teach him things that he'll take as he grows older. And it's definitely inspired from my own childhood, you know, going hunting with my dad and my grandpa and things like that, and how it was just an opportunity to bond and hang out and kind of learn more about each other that maybe you wouldn't really get without that quality one-on-one time. And of course, I just put my own little filmmaker spin on it, I guess you could say.
Yeah, don't let this film, I can't spoil it, but it's like one of those films that you want to see this one because it's a little more fun than the little description we'll give it. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a twist, we'll say.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, most of it is this. It's very conversation driven. You said it's inspired by you and your dad. Are these like some of the conversations you and your dad have had at some point?
I would say maybe not exactly literal, but the overall themes of the conversations definitely are, especially, that time where eventually you're old enough to hold a rifle and take that shot, and the nerves that go along with it, and sort of how you look to someone else like your dad or grandpa or whoever you're with that has that experience, and learn from them, and they can impart those lessons to you, and you can take that forward.
Growing up, obviously, you must be a Saskatchewan kid, I guess, if you have submitted this. How did you make that jump from growing up hunting to now doing a different kind of shooting with cameras?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've always loved film. I've always loved writing. I went to school at the Recording Arts Institute of Saskatoon, and then ever since then, I've just been working in Saskatchewan and, you know, directing my own stuff, writing stuff, producing a lot of stuff. Actually, not to go off too much on a tangent, but I also produced Disconnect, which is also part of the festival. And yeah, I just love film, and was really sort of just driven into storytelling. And I was always a creative kid. So
Cool. So 2 nominations you got.
yeah, yeah, I guess technically I didn't really think about it that way, but I look at that more as Owen's film that I just helped out on. And he helped me out on this one because he shot Hunting Trip for me.
Okay. Are you
Okay,
doing
so
like a
did
lot of
you
work with Owen then?
We've worked together quite a bit. I think Hunting Trip was our first time we worked together because we shot it a while ago, and then it's just been in the edit for a little bit. And then we did Disconnect, and we've also done some corporate stuff as well. But yeah, Owen's a great guy.
did you shoot Disconnect then?
No, I didn't. Dylan from Versa Film shot Disconnect, but I just produced
Okay,
Disconnect.
very cool.
Yeah.
With Hunting Trip, so are you a shooter as well, or are you mainly director, producer person?
Yeah, I do shoot, but mostly corporate stuff. Usually, if I have the choice, I like to direct and produce. I like to be on that side.
Any particular reason
Nathan and
why
I
you
are
like
the
this
same.
side?
We both shoot corporate stuff. I don't do directing or producing.
Oh yeah.
Is there any particular reason you like that directing producing side?
Yeah, directing, I think, just sort of was a natural evolution of like how I was growing up. Like I loved writing my own stories, and then it sort of became, well, how can I get the images that I see on my head onto the screen, not just onto a piece of paper or something like that. And I think I just naturally gravitated towards directing. And then producing, I sort of fell into it coming out of film school. I learned that a lot of people, at least at the time, with my age range and everything, just being fresh out of film school, they don't want to produce. They think it's
Mm.
boring. So I was like, well, I like producing. So I just kind of fell into that role and started doing it more and more. And I really like it. I love helping see a creative vision come to life and just be able to help make that happen and facilitate it. I think that's what really attracts me to producing, especially.
So you can handle numbers and creativity. That's an interesting combination of
Yeah,
personality.
yeah.
Somebody that can handle all of the paperwork and details and the directing. You know, that's interesting, Emery. You probably noticed this too, because so Emery used to work in the office on movies, being like director's assistants and stuff. You probably noticed that too. Some of the best directors are the ones that could handle a lot of the paperwork and administrative stuff too.
Best is hard to say. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, most directors were not very organized at all. That's basically why I got paid.
I'm just yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. The So you got these both disconnect and hunting trip. I just brought this up to sort of show they're both in the exact same category. So you're going up against yourself. Or in this case, I'm gonna say you're going up against Owen. Is there gonna be some good like rivalry there? Maybe some chirping or something going on?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I mean, we're in the Olympics. I've been watching hockey, so maybe that'll rub off on me a little bit right now. So I guess we'll see.
Nice. Hockey guy too. I like it. Nick
Yeah,
and I
well,
do.
for the
Yeah.
Olympics for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I want to get into, so the shoot day itself, was it like, I kind of look at it, you're basically shooting at high light, which is like kind of a bold choice for all these things, but I kind of like it. Everything looks clean and crispy. Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about that look?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the look that we wanted is I wanted to try to go for something very natural, but just with a slight something's just not quite right. I want the viewer to think like, okay, what's going on here? Something's not quite right, and they can't maybe figure it out fully. So we just decided to shoot at that time because it just kind of gives the lighting just that unique sort of harsh look to it. And then we shot on like we had some flags and everything to get that negative fill, and it just turned out looking really nice. And most of this, obviously, of course, I discussed with Owen, and he worked out the technicals of everything. I just told him the mood I wanted to go for, and he figured it out from there.
Nice to have guys like that. What about the choice to go like super wide?
Yeah, yeah. So that was a choice from the beginning. Even when writing the script, I knew that I wanted to shoot that shot like that because we're sort of with them in this world, just right up against them for this conversation as they're having this, intimate moment where they're bonding and they're learning, and he's teaching his son, and then to finally just back out from everything and see it in more of an objective lens. That's what I really wanted to accomplish with that. And I wanted it to linger, to let the audience just sit in that moment and sort of let everything that's going on sink in.
Yeah. And then with the widescreen added to that, you're in that tight bond. It's kind
Hmm.
of funny. I grew up hunting as well with my dad, and we did goose hunting stuff, and so we hunted in these blinds all the time. And
Hmm.
that's what it kind of reminded me of. It was like sitting in these blinds really close, and everything's kind of, maybe a little uncomfortable, but it's okay because it's your dad, and you're getting this like, valuable life lesson.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
Yeah. Um, the I guess too, the other thing I kind of want to know, sort of, this is going to be showing at the film festival in Moose Jaw. Have you had much experience with film festivals at all?
Uh, yeah. So a couple years ago, I produced a film called Far From Me. It was directed by Levi Muro. I think he's nominated in a couple categories as well. Um, but yeah, we got into RIFA, and that was COVID time, so it was all online. And then we got into a couple other festivals with that one as well. And then I produced a short film by Jordan Wenzina, who's also nominated for one of his shorts, called Ghost in My Room. And for that, we got into RIFA, and that was really cool. And that wasn't COVID, so we actually got to go down and take part in it. That was my first time being part of the festival and seeing all the films and going to the award show. It was a great time.
So far with this, is there anything that sort of stands out to you about the Moose Jaw one that might make it a little special for you?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely the focus on Saskatchewan filmmaking. I love that there are Saskatchewan festivals already, and I think it's great that they're trying to push Saskatchewan to an international audience. But I think it's also great now having a festival that is solely focused on Saskatchewan film because I think having both is really important.
Yeah. You mentioned too a couple names, Owen,
Yeah.
sorry, Levi. There's sort of that like whole group with Versa, Dylan, and Jeremy Ratzlaff and that. What's that like in being in that community and being surrounded by all these people and achieving all this and being in these festivals and stuff together competing?
Yeah, it's awesome, and it almost doesn't feel like competing because we're just all friends and we all get along. It just feels like supporting each other and just being happy for each other, and a lot of the times, we work on each other's stuff. So a victory for them is a victory for yourself as well, in a weird and vice versa. And, yeah, it's great, and the community in Saskatchewan is really tight-knit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's interesting. So, is there this is a question. Is there anybody that you don't know that submitted? You know, that when you go down the list, is there anybody that you're like, "Oh, I don't even know who that person is?"
Yeah, no, actually, I know every single person that, is nominated. Um, I haven't necessarily, like, worked with all of them, but I know them and, we've met, shook hands, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's great. So, do you when you're making a short film, are you thinking, okay, it's gonna be for festivals, or is it something that you're making for yourself, or is it eventually for, like, I guess, YouTube now? Or, kinda what's the
Mhm.
thought when you're making a short film?
Yeah, with shorts, it's interesting. I think first and foremost, it's for myself because that's ultimately if you don't care about the movie that you're making, then no one else is gonna care. So ultimately, it's for myself. But the producer brain in me does think like, okay, what audience is this for? What festivals could this go into? And that sort of thing. And being deliberate with your festival strategy. For shorts, it is kind of an interesting world when it comes to that distribution or lack thereof for them. It seems to be that it really is sort of uh, the festival route is how you get in there, and it's a way to show your art, kind of show your portfolio, network, that sort of thing. And then, yeah, I think mostly it just goes on YouTube afterwards, and then, yeah, that's kind of the journey that it takes. I know sometimes the odd short can get distribution, and that's great, but it's pretty rare.
That's kinda cool, though, when you think about it, and especially even your YouTube channel where you'll be able to look back, and it would be quite a curated YouTube channel because 'cause you'd have
Mhm.
over the years, you could get 10, 20, 30 of these really high quality short films. That'd be an interesting one to just kinda stumble across and keep scrolling through.
Yeah, for sure, and just have that sort of be kind of a living portfolio almost, like, just showing your art or even a time capsule if you wanna look at that way too, just how the different films that you've made and maybe how you've evolved or the different people you've worked with and how that informs what you make. I think, yeah, it's, really neat in that
Yeah, or
perspective.
even looking back and, you're directing, uh, either a TV series or a movie or something, and it's like, "Oh, this is Nathan's YouTube channel that's got his shorts on." That'll be kinda cool to
Mhm.
see as, directors kinda go up and they're doing that strategy. That'll be interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I got to live through Nick's time machine there and experience everything he did from the start. And I can honestly say it's probably not that cool. I don't think I'd want to go back and watch the stuff that
Yeah,
Nick did.
but I didn't do anything. You just see a mix mash of, that what actually, so I have similar to you, Nathan, I've submitted stuff to film festivals before, but where we differ, I've never been accepted into a film festival before.
Mm.
So
Well,
that's
I
where
know
the
that
two
feeling
paths
too.
cross.
I know that feeling. I mean, yeah, there's definitely you submit to a lot of festivals and it's a lot of rejection. And then a couple films that I did earlier on just straight out of film school, those didn't get accepted either. So I
Yeah.
think at least in my case, I had to maybe learn a little bit more and you got to just make stuff and hone your craft and everything like that. It depends on the festival too and what they're looking for. It's a bit of a game that you're playing in that sense too, because if you don't fit fully into the themes of the other shorts that they have, then maybe they won't go with yours because it doesn't quite fit, and they'll go with someone else's. Length matters, and all these things they don't really tell you either. It just all depends behind the scenes, and you're just sort of at the whim of the festival.
So
Yeah.
will you go ahead and when you're submitting, will you take a look at the jury members and kind of craft a strategy that way? That's like a little more detailed.
Yeah, a little bit. It sort of depends on the festival. But yeah, I have definitely looked at the jury as well just to see kind of like what their expertise is in, I guess, what they like, that sort of thing. Because festivals, like, it's expensive to submit to these festivals too. It adds up. So,
Yeah.
you want to be economical as well. So I just, put in a little bit of time, a little bit of background research, and, spend your money wisely.
Yeah. Actually, Nick and I were talking a little bit before about how the submissions went and using this film Freeway. And now is actually one of the things they mentioned. I think the submissions were only $10 for
Oh,
one,
yeah. I
which
was
they were trying to make it as economical as possible.
Yeah, I was, very impressed at that because I know, like, it costs money to run a film festival. I'm not knocking them for charging at all, but just to see that the cost was that low, I was really surprised, and, I definitely respect that and appreciate that a lot.
And so I can't say enough. I should have said this to the other people, but uh anybody that's submitted, even if you didn't get in, it doesn't like uh, to owe not that they owe it, but people should say thank you to Jeremy and Tim for how much work they're putting into this
Oh,
thing
yeah.
because they're not making a nickel off of it. It's all volunteer time. And so all the money is just going to pay for the building and the technicians and to present it. So um I honestly can't say enough good things about how much work those two are putting in to this thing. So yeah, that was
Mhm.
part of the deal was we were trying to make it as economical, like our tickets as cheap as possible and the submissions as cheap as possible, and
Mhm.
just make it a fun day for everybody.
Yeah, definitely, and I totally agree. I think what all of you are doing to put on the festival is fantastic, and it's very much welcome in the Saskatchewan art scene for sure.
Yeah. Are you going to head down to Moose Jaw for this thing, do you think?
I very much plan to, so hopefully, unless life gets in the way, I'll be there.
Oh, I
I
look forward to seeing you. Yeah, that'll be good. Are you coming down, Emery? You should make a trip down. That would be
I
awesome.
honestly, I haven't said anything. I suspect the boy will be in hockey, so we will probably be
Okay.
on that day.
Winter
So
is hard. Yeah.
yeah, kind of leaving it open, but we'll see. If I can make it down, I'll be down for sure. It'll be good to actually like that's one of the other things too that I don't think like people realize. We talked about community, and that's another thing. Like Saskatchewan is a small community. The film community in Saskatchewan is even smaller. So if you don't know some guys or girls that are doing it, you can make your way down to an event like this and meet a guy like Nathan and hear some of the things you have to say about what you're doing and see all the films that people are making, see all those interconnections you talked about before as well.
Mhm.
So it really is kind of a neat time, I think, and a neat thing
Well,
for
it'll be
Moose
great.
Jaw.
Yeah, great for that networking. And then the super cool part is so our jury member, one of the jury members, Jeff Beasley, who's directed insane amount of features. Now he's from Moose Jaw originally, doesn't live in Saskatchewan anymore, but he's coming down for the festival and he's going to be there
Yeah,
chatting
that's
with
really
everybody.
cool.
So that's
That's
going to be a
awesome.
lot of fun too to have,
Mhm.
the people that are excited about it here. It's going to be neat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Have you ever met
Yeah.
Beasley, Nathan?
No, I haven't. So if I am able to come, that'll be the first time. Hopefully, I can meet him and just pick his brain a little bit, and don't want to bug him too much. I'm sure everyone else will be doing the same thing, but but
Oh,
yeah, that'd
he's
be
pretty
really
open
cool.
to chat to anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
pretty open guy.
Yeah. Cool.
Emery was his assistant at one show, weren't you, Emery?
On several things. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
working with him. So he was always a fun time, good guy to work with. And then too, right? Like it's that local stuff. You know, what's funny actually, I told a Beasley story in the other one, but you know, I remember working with him on some of the stuff like Corner Gas or whatever. And, you know, he was, you know, always like the kindest, gentlest guy, would just everything you wanted, he would help you out or whatever. And then you'd work on some other show where you'd have some guy come in from LA and you're just like, oh my God, I wanted to pull my hair out, right? Like I wanted to go back to working with Beasley.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that's sort of the thing too. We talked about that community with your group there, and it's all you young guys pushing this sort of new wave of Saskatchewan film. How's that kind of make you feel to know you're probably a big part of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, I won't lie. I mean, just to even be a small part in the Saskatchewan film industry, especially right now, as it seems like, you know, we've got the gears turning for a little bit of a resurgence, that it's just cool to know that we were kind of on the ground floor for this part, and kind of, you know, played a part in keeping the Saskatchewan film industry going. And it's just cool, and it's good company, you know, good group of people, and good community. So happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. I'm always like just super impressed by it because like I look at me and Nick, we're out of it. We're old. We're sort of moving on with our ways. And in the time that we did it, it was basically the easiest time. It was when film had
Hmm.
its most funding and was flourishing here, and everything, every way we looked, Nick and I had jobs. And
Mm-hmm.
then you guys are out there doing grassroots, kicking
Mm-hmm.
dirt and
Mm-hmm.
making things happen. It's impressive to see. And it's something every time I think about like Ratzlaff and whoever else, I'm just like, wow, you guys, like, it's impressive.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yeah. Nick, I think we can wrap it up with
Yeah.
that.
How can we find you, Nathan? What on the social media or website, or people want to keep track of your journey?
Yeah, for sure. So for me personally, I'm on Instagram at that Nathan Smit. I'm also on Facebook if people prefer Facebook, just Nathan Smit.
You're just
In
saying
terms,
that because Emery and I are old, aren't you? You normally wouldn't leave that. We appreciate it though. Yeah, thank you.
and then for a website, you can go to myriadentertainment.net, and that's where the film, you can learn more about it and stuff, and kind of learn more about the Myriad people and things like that. So just the little crew collective that we have for that.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Looking forward to the screening February 28th in Moose Jaw. If anybody wants to check things out, get tickets, it is the moosejawfilmfestival.com. And yeah, we'll wrap it up. Until next time, everybody. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks, Nathan. Good seeing you.
Yeah,
Yes, thank
thank
you, Nathan.
you.
All right. Have a good night.
Thanks, you as well. Take care, guys. It was great.
Thanks.